Okay, so we're coming to close to the end of this flat pack furniture project, and I've been really excited and so have the other members of staff to see your outcomes. What we're going to think about now is making your product into a viable product that can be sold. Okay, so we're obviously thinking about IKEA. We're thinking about our product being sold in that sort of environment and how these products are made and sold. When you buy any bit of furniture from IKEA, it doesn't come as a made piece of furniture. It comes flat packed, and we're doing this as a bit of flat pack furniture. So you have to take it home in a box and then manufacture it yourself. So what they do, and I've got one of the sort of example on the screen here for you. What they do is they produce an instruction manual that comes along with the product, and it should, if it's done well, it help you manufacture it yourselves at home. Okay, and you can see what they've done here. They've got a name for the product, so what the product name is. They've got a list of all the tools that you'll be able, that you should use, all the fastenings, so all the different parts are drawn, and then they split it down into order. So starting off stage one, all going all the way up to the completion of the product. So they keep it nice and clear and nice and simple, outlining exactly what you have to do, giving some wrong ways of doing it and also some correct ways of doing it. And this is actually quite difficult to do. Trying to make things simple so people can understand it and don't make mistakes is quite tricky. Okay, so what we're going to want you to do today is think about your product and how it would be made. Okay, and we're going to ask. I'm going to get you to produce an instruction manual that goes along with your product. So the first thing I want you to do is decide on a product name. So decide what you're going to call it. Okay, this shelving unit that I just found off the internet from IKEA is called Billy. Okay, so that's what the name they've given it. So think about the name of your product. Then I want you to create an instruction manual. So you can do this in two ways. You can either get a pencil, get a pen, a bit of paper, and do all this by hand yourself if you wish. If you want to draw it all out by hand, you can, including all the parts. I don't mind, that'd be welcomed. Alternatively, you can use this template. Okay, so I've produced a template here with some of the parts I think you might need. If there are other parts you might need, you could just Google them and find pictures off the internet if you want to make the instruction manual. So the first thing I'm going to want you to do is I'm going to want you to click on your assignment. So the assignment will be set by your teacher. You click on that assignment and your assignment should look something a little bit like this. Okay, in this assignment, it outlines exactly what you have to do, and you will have clicked on it to find this video anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. It tells you what you do in your task, and at the bottom, it's got all of these links. So this is a picture of what I just showed you, what the end product should look like. So this is a good example of what we're sort of expecting you to produce. And at the bottom here is how you find the template. So I want you to download this template just by clicking on it and downloading it. It'll open up a PowerPoint presentation like this, and then you can copy and paste from it. So what I've done on this template is I've just put on here, please use all the things in the following pages to help you construct your instruction manual for your flat pack furniture. So as I said, this is quite a tricky thing to do. What you probably need to do first of all is take a look at the model you've made, take a look at the product you've produced, and think about how someone would make it from all the pieces, what fastenings they would use, what tools you think they might need to use to actually put it together, and plan it out. Okay, so I would use a bit of a lesson, or the whole of the lesson really, planning out all of the things you think you might need, and also the steps that would be required to manufacture it. Once you've done that, you can use all of the different things on these pages. So on this page here, I've got the tools and fastenings. So on first page, I've got all the tools that you might need. Okay, so things like screwdrivers, hammers, Allen keys, and all of these are separate images. So I've cropped them down, and you can copy and paste them onto your instruction manual. On the second page, I've got all the sorts of different fastenings here. So these ones here, sort of screws. This one fits in here. It's like a knockdown fitting, dowels, different types of bolts. You can choose whatever you want. You could also put the quantity that you're going to need for these. And then on the next page, I've got some generic shapes. So you could copy and paste these across to put the steps into. If you look back at the instructions, these are the sort of shapes and the squares that they put in there. And then on the last page, I've just got some sort of generic men and different IKEA labels that might look quite nice just to make your instruction manual look a bit more authentic. So use these pages, copy and paste across the items that you think you would need. There is going to be some of your input needed. Okay, you can't just copy and paste these things across the thing that's finished. You're going to need to draw various parts of your product in. For example, if I go back to here, they've drawn the parts out here. So you could use the piece of the drawings that you did previously when you did the 2D parts drawing. They could be useful, and then you could take a picture of those and put them on if you needed to, or you could draw them from a slightly different angle and draw them yourself. I don't mind, but what we need you to create is an instruction manual, so whoever buys your product would be able to construct it themselves without any need from a professional person. One thing I want you to bear in mind, what I noticed about this, apart from a few numbers telling you the stages and how many of the product you're going to need, there is no text. Okay, so they're trying to make it universally applicable. IKEA don't just sell in countries where English is spoken. We sell them all over the world. So to avoid having to translate all of the written things from English and into Arabic or Spanish or French or German or whatever, they avoid using any text whatsoever. So it's quite an art, quite tricky to actually just draw out the different things and make it easily explained. And that's what we're asking you to do. Okay, so this is something I would advise taking about a couple of lessons to do. Plan it out first of all, so you know the steps, you know how it's going to be made. Then have a go at producing the actual manual yourself. As I said, you can do this by drawing everything yourself freehand if you want to on a piece of paper and taking a photo and uploading it onto your PowerPoint, or you can copy and cross all of the different templates and all the different things that I've put here on this PowerPoint should you wish. Whatever you find easiest is fine. Okay, so yeah, have a go. See if we can produce some instruction manuals that show how your product will come together for the user and the purchaser, please.